Hey, what's a phone got to do to get charged around here?
I've made a couple of videos now about the Shortcuts app for the iPhone, but I realized recently that I'd only ever covered half of what the Shortcuts app can do. Because in those videos we talked about shortcuts, but we didn't talk about automations, and we should, because automations are amazing when you know how to use them. Stick with me until the end of this video because not only am I going to explain to you what an automation is, I'm going to share 6 examples that I think you'll find really useful. Okay, let's get into it. An automation is quite simply a method of automating something that you do on your iPhone. So as a very basic example, if you send a message on your iPhone, you would do this by opening the Messages app, choosing the person that you want to send it to, typing out the message that you want to send, and then hitting send. But you could automate this. In other words, have your phone automatically send a message on your behalf. And you can do this for any number of criteria. So at a specific time of the day, or when you arrive at a certain location, even something as advanced as when your phone hears a specific noise. It's really very clever and it's actually very easy to do. So with that out of the way, just ensure 2 things before we begin properly. First, ensure that you've got the Shortcuts app installed on your phone. So go to Spotlight Search and search for it. And if you see this app already showing on your device, then you're in luck. If it's not there, go to the App Store and download it. Second, ensure that you're running the most up-to-date version of iOS, which as I'm making this video, is currently iOS 16.4.1. Let's start with an easy one. We're going to automate the sending of a message at a specific time each day. This could be useful if you've got someone that you know you want to check in with on a regular basis, perhaps a loved one that you want to message each day, or maybe your team at work. You want to fire out a message each weekday morning to find out what their plans are for that day. Maybe you run some kind of activity group, and it would be helpful to send out a specific text message at a fixed time once a week, for example. There's loads of reasons why this could be useful. So to do this, we're going to open the Shortcuts app and then tap on Automation down here at the bottom of the screen. You can see that we can choose between a personal automation or a home automation. In general, we're going to be creating automations that are only for us as the user of this device, but you can also set automations that will apply to everyone in your home if you wish. On this next screen, we can begin the process of creating the automation. So for this, even though you can see an option for message here, we're actually going to choose time of day. You can choose sunset or sunrise if you wish, or you can choose a specific time of day. I'm going to choose 8 a.m. Then under repeat, you can either choose daily for this to run every single day, or if you head into weekly, you can choose which days of the week you'd like it to run. And if you head into monthly, you can choose which day of the month you'd like the automation to begin and repeat each month. Choose next once you've chosen your time frame. On this next screen, we've got a couple of options. We could choose Add Action, which then takes us into a more custom shortcuts page, but you can see that your phone will give you some suggestions, and one of those is to send a message. Tap on that. In Recipients, choose the person you want to send a message to. Choose Done when you've selected them. In Message, you've got a couple of options. You can either type in the specific message, and if you do this, whatever you type will send each time without you having to get involved at all. Or you can tap on the button that says Ask Each Time. If you do that at the desired date and time, a window will pop up saying what's the text, and you would simply type the text in at that moment and the message will send. I'm going to input some actual text. Choose Next when you're ready and you'll get a summary of the automation. So you can see that at 8 a.m. on weekdays, the text that I've written will automatically send unless I disable this automation. One last thing before we save, I'm going to disable Ask Before Running. With that enabled, the phone would ask us for approval each day before sending, which is a bit pointless. With it disabled, it will just send automatically. I'm going to tap Done and the automation is created. I've tested it, it works a treat, and will send out each day. Oh, and just to show you, if you want to use an alternative app other than iMessage, follow the first step where you create an automation, and instead of choosing Send Message, tap into this option down at the bottom. Find the app that you want to use in the Apps option and choose the relevant chat in there. The rest of the process is exactly the same. By the way, if you prefer to have content like this in a written format, there's a PDF to accompany this video, and you can access it by joining my membership program, where for a small monthly fee, you'll get access to all video PDFs moving forward, plus the growing library of old ones. Just follow the link in the description of this video that says Become a Channel Member. Let's try a more interesting example. Let's say that every time I arrive at a specific supermarket, I want my phone to automatically fire off a text message to my wife asking if she wants me to pick anything up for her. And then let's take it a step further and say that I want my phone to then automatically open my shopping list so that it's ready for me and I don't have to do it. So we start with a new automation and we create a new personal automation like before. We're going to choose arrive from the available options. In other words, when I arrive at a specific location, run this automation. Allow the app necessary location permissions if you're prompted to. In location, I'm going to tap on choose, and then I'm going to choose the supermarket I want to use for this example. Notice that you can change the radius that's going to trigger this if you wish. Down at the bottom, where it says anytime or time range, I'm going to leave this at any time, but you can choose to have this automation only run at certain times if you wish. Choose next. Like before, I'm going to choose send message, and this time I'm going to choose the recipient and then input the text that I want to send out each time. Then I'm going to tap on the field down at the bottom of the screen, and I'm going to tap on apps and then choose reminders and then choose open reminders list. Back on this screen, I'm going to tap on reminders and change this to shopping, which is a list that I've already got created. I'll then choose next. And you can see here on the summary that whenever this phone enters into the location that I chose, meaning that I've gone to that location, a text will be fired off automatically and the shopping list will open. By the way, if you're enjoying the content here, why not consider signing up to my newsletter, The Proper Weekly? I include some tech news from the week, a behind the scenes of what's happening here on the channel, as well as a tip for an item in the Apple ecosystem. The newsletter goes out each Friday, it's free to join, and I'll include a sign-up link in the description of this video. Your iPhone has a low power mode, which by default comes on when your phone reaches 20% battery, and you get a notification to let you know that this is happening. It is a good time to obviously put your phone on charge at this point, but what if you'd like a prompt at say 25% instead, so that you can quickly get some juice and avoid your phone going into low power mode? Here's how you do that. We're going to create a new personal automation. We're going to scroll down and where it says battery level, we'll choose that one. On the next screen, I'm going to change the battery level to equals 25% and then choose next. On this next screen, I'm going to choose add action, and then in the search box, I'm going to type speak and choose speak text. On the next screen, I'll tap on where it says text and type in a prompt that I want to be spoken out when my phone reaches 25%. I'm going to tap on the right pointing arrow and you can change the speaking rate and pitch in here, but you can also change the voice. I'm going to change mine to a Siri voice as it's a bit more natural. Tap the play button down at the bottom of the screen to see how it sounds before you commit to it.
Hey, what's a phone got to do to get charged around here?
Choose next when you're ready and again disable ask before running. That's it. Once you choose done, your phone will verbally let you know each time it reaches 25% battery. Are there any apps where when you open them, you wish that you could stop any notifications from showing up on your phone? Maybe you're watching a movie or a TV show, or like me, you've got certain productivity apps where you don't want notifications when you're using it. You can create an automation where each time you open a specific app, your phone will automatically switch to Do Not Disturb and automatically switch it off the second that you close the app. Here's how. We'll create a new personal automation. I'm going to scroll down to App and choose that one. I'll choose Prompt Smart, which is a teleprompter app that I use, as I want Do Not Disturb to switch on whenever I have that app open. I'll choose Next, then tap Add Action. In the search box, I'll type Focus and choose Set Focus. I'll then ensure that Do Not Disturb is switched on until turned off, like you can see on the screen now. I'll choose Next, Disable Ask Before Running, and choose Done. I'll open the app to show you that this is working. The problem is, now Do Not Disturb is on, and I want it to disable when I close the app. So we'll create another automation to cover this. I'll create a personal automation and repeat the steps from the previous automation. But this time, when I choose Prompt Smart, I'm going to choose Is Closed. Then on the next page, I'll choose Set Focus like I did previously, but this time I'll say Turn Do Not Disturb off. Complete the automation, and let's test that out. You can see that when we open the app, Do Not Disturb switches on, come out of the app, and it switches off. I've covered guided access before on this channel. It's a feature that lets you lock your iPhone to just one app. It's great if you're giving your phone to a kid, for example, and you want them to be able to just play a game and not be able to close that game and end up sending a message or an email. Problem is, you have to remember to enable it each time you hand your phone over. So it's good to know that you can use an automation to switch on guided access each time you access a specific app. So first up, we need to configure guided access. We do that by going to Settings, then Accessibility, then Guided Access. Toggle to switch it on, and in passcode settings, I would recommend both enabling Face or Touch ID if you have it, and setting up a passcode. With that done, we can now go back to Shortcuts and create a new personal automation. I'm going to choose App, and then I'll choose Solitaire. So the option selected so far is when Solitaire is opened. I'll choose Next. Then on the next screen, I'll choose Add Action, and we're looking for Start Guided Access. I'll then choose Next. So you can see that the option here is when Solitaire is opened, Start Guided Access. Again, disable Ask Before Running and choose Done. Then let me show you how this works. I'll open Solitaire. And you can see Guided Access switches on automatically. It's now not possible to close the app, or open another app, or even lock the phone. If you enable Touch or Face ID, double tap the side button to use that to end guided access, otherwise triple tap and use your passcode. Your phone is now immediately safe to hand to your kids, although I can't do anything about them dropping it, I'm afraid. This is a function that I think Apple will probably add to iOS, hopefully in iOS 17, but until that time, there is no easy way to lock specific apps. In other words, to protect certain apps using Face ID or Touch ID, a bit like you can do with most of your banking apps. There is an automation workaround though. We'll create a new personal automation. I'm going to choose an app. For this example, I'm going to choose Photos, but you can use whatever you like, of course. I'll choose Next. Then in Add Action, I'm going to choose Start Timer. I'll also change the variable to 1 second. Now for this to work, with the Shortcuts app still open, I'm going to open the Clock app. In Timer, I'm going to change it to when timer ends, stop playing, which is down at the bottom of this list. Back in Shortcuts, I'll choose Next, disable Ask Before Running, and choose Done. Now look at what happens when I open Photos. You can see that the iPhone immediately locks. The only way that I can access the app now is by using my Face or Touch ID or passcode to unlock the phone. So there you go, that's 6 automations which I think are absolute game changers in terms of getting more out of your iPhone. What do you think? I've got 6 more which I think are just as good. Comment below if you'd like me to make a follow-up video soon. And let me know if there are any clever automations that you're using. And as ever, if you found this video useful, do please consider leaving me a like and subscribing to my channel for more content like this in the future. See you on the next video.